happening, guys? My name is Adam, aka Speedy Spectrum, and welcome back to Let's Play and Dub The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch. In the last episode, we rescued BowWow from the moblins and took him for a walk. And what better place to take him for a walk than in a deadly swamp filled with killer flowers? Yeah, that's about as strange as you can get. But it's all good because he cleared the way to the second dungeon. So now it's time to do a bit of exploring. Sadly, we cannot take BowWow with us in the dungeon. So we're going to have to say goodbye. Bye, BowWow! Don't be a stranger! And speaking of strange things... Level 2, Bottle Grotto. This is quite a bit more expansive than the Tail Cave was, but even so, it's not overly difficult. As you can see, there is a treasure chest surrounded by jars that we cannot lift. Fortunately, the dungeon item found in Bottle Grotto will correct that. Let's move forward. You'll want to be sure that you have some magic powder before you enter, because there are many torches that will have to light up. Since the door on the left is locked, we'll need to head to the right instead, where we encounter a new enemy. Not the white Stalfos, the yellow Stalfos. The yellow Stalfos will try to jump on top of you, so they actively attack. It's best to slash them when they land, and I believe they wore green in the classic game. Nevertheless, once both Stalfos are defeated, first small key, very nice. And what better place to use it than the door that we saw earlier. Now you'll want to be careful because in the next room, there are blade traps. Oh! And keys that run into you. Jerks. Yeah, keys are weak, but sometimes they can be really annoying to hit. Might as well light both of these torches up so we can see where we are. It's always best to have your shield whenever you run into blade traps. Oh, you! Okay, ow! Jerk. Go down the pit. No, come on! Stop hitting me! Thank you very much. I will try my best not to complain too much. Open the chest and obtain the stone beak. It's not necessary to look at every single owl statue. However, there is one specific owl statue in Bottle Grotto that I recommend you do look at because it's going to save you a lot of trial and error. Moving on, we have yet another new gimmick coming up. And it's right over here. But then again, so is an owl statue. Let's check it out. Part of the floor is raised. Tap the shining crystal. And thus, we are introduced to crystal switches. When crystal switches are struck, they will raise and lower platforms. The platform that is raised matches the color the crystal switch is currently. So since it is blue, the blue platforms are raised. And now since it's red, the red platforms are raised. But we'll need to lower these red platforms because A, we need to get rid of this new enemy, the Shrouded Stalfos, which is pretty much exactly the same as a moblin. But more importantly, B, open the chest to get yet another small key. Is it me, or do the dungeons in Link's Awakening have a lot of small keys? Alright, where were we? Ah yes, the crystal switches. They're pretty simple for the most part, but later on in the game, they'll become particularly fiendish. Once this switch is pressed, we get another treasure chest, and I believe this one has a key as well. Yep. Alright, with that key collected, we will need to head up because there are some new enemies here. And guess what? It's another Mario cameo. We've got Shy Guys. Or are they? Actually, in this game, they're known as mask mimics. As the name implies, mask mimics wear masks, and they mimic and mirror your every move. Your sword can't damage their masks, so you will have to attack them from behind. So typically what I like to do is I like to get them in a nice straight line, then back up slowly and hit them with a spin attack. Very, very nice indeed. And right over there is small key number 3. Well, technically it's actually small key number 4 because we used 1 to unlock that earlier door. With some luck, I'll be able to finish the entire dungeon in one video. However, I have a feeling that the later dungeons are going to prove particularly devilish, which means I might need to dedicate more than one video to them. Once again, if you have trouble dealing with Stalfos, just hold down your sword and they won't jump away from you. Oh, a piece of power! Man, that came at the perfect time. Let's unlock this door, where we encounter yet another mask mimic. This one's a little trickier because he tries to protect himself with those jars. However, we can somehow get him to stay put, although I'm struggling a little bit doing so. Yeah, since he does mirror my movements, it's proving a little difficult to catch him. There we go. Now we can easily hit him with the spin attack, and that's good because once he perishes, the chest is revealed. And it contains the compass. Now, we'll need to quickly check the map. As you can see, we have 5 chests, and the boss is right over there. However, I believe the dungeon item is all the way up there. We'll need to trek through at least 2/3 of the dungeon before we can get our hands on it. Time to move on, so we'll head back the way we came where all those pits were. If you're skilled, sometimes you can trap the spark behind a crystal switch so it won't bother you, but I've never been that good. And we don't need to deal with you guys anymore since we already collected your key. Oh, it's the return of spiny beetles. Again, keeping up with the Mario cameos. Once again, hit them with your shield, then they'll flip over and you can attack their soft underbelly. Alright, let's go ahead and unlock the door, where we will encounter more jars and pots and such. Well, I guess the dungeon is living up to its name, Bottle Grotto. Get rid of the keys first, taking care to avoid the spark. And let's hear what this owl statue has to say. Make every block design the same. A new path will open. Well, as indicated by those lighter panels, let's push the blocks on them and see what happens. Oh, run away from the spark. Run away, run away. And just like that, a new path opens. Couldn't have said it better myself. So it's time for more 2D platforming. I really wish other handheld Zelda games implemented 2D platforming because it's a ton of fun jumping across platforms with Link. I know Oracle of Ages and Seasons implemented this mechanic, but I really wish Minish Cap did. I wish we hadn't been stuck in a top-down perspective, but I understand why they do that. I mean, it is really simple to keep your eye on and navigate. Okay, there's nothing for us here, but there were some hearts. And the reason, once we get on the other side of this wall, there's a mini-boss here! Hello there, sir! This is the Hinox. Thankfully, it's not nearly as dangerous as it is in Breath of the Wild, but it can be a little annoying. So the Hinox will try and throw bombs at you, but its main attack involves it rushing at you, attempting to grab you. If it does grab you, it'll throw you into another area of the room, usually on a cracked panel. And if that happens, you want to get off quickly before you fall down. Not a tough boss at all. And because we defeated the mini-boss, the portal to the entrance appears, and we're going to be using that portal momentarily. But for now, let's move on. There is another floating heart in case you suffered a lot of damage at the hands of Enox. Once again, they're not nearly as powerful as they were in Breath of the Wild, but I can talk about that later. Right now, I want to direct your attention to this owl statue. I believe this is the one. Yes, it is. First, defeat the imprisoned Pole's voice. Last, the skeletal Stalfos. That is a hint as to how to solve one of the puzzles in this room. We'll deal with that later. Right now, new enemy, vacuum mouths. Vacuum mouths try and draw you into the pits. But as I've shown right there, you can in fact defeat them. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, you can defeat vacuum mouths with your sword. In fact, I find kind of surprising, because wouldn't it just suck up your sword anyway? I don't know. Let's just open the chest and grab the map. And true to the dungeon's nature, it's shaped like a bottle, or a jar, or a vase, or whatever. And taking another close look at the map, we're really, really close to the dungeon item. Alright, let's get out of that screen and back to adventure, as Stuffwell from Mario and Luigi Partners in Time would say. Both keys destroyed, and we're going to save that magic powder for now. First, we need to open this chest and obtain 20 more rupees. My goal is to get at least 400. And I might be able to get there with a bit of farming. Okay, open this door, and that's going to lead us to some new enemies. Boos! How awesome! Well, if Luigi's Mansion has taught us anything, it's that boos aren't too keen on light. So light up both the torches, and they will vanish. This reveals the treasure chest, and inside is the dungeon item. You found the Power Bracelet! At last, you can pick up pots and stones. The Power Bracelet is really nice to have, and it's really, really easy to use. All you need to do is approach a rock or a pot and then press A to lift it, and press A again to throw. Now this is pretty easy in the Switch remake. But in the classic games, I spent about 20 minutes trying to figure out how to use the Power Bracelet, and I am not going the right way. So I need to get myself back on track. In order to use the Power Bracelet in the Game Boy version, first you had to equip it, obviously, but when you used it, all you did was grip the pot. You didn't lift it above your head. You had to press the D-pad in the direction that you were pulling in order to lift it. So, say this was a rock, and I was playing classic Game Boy games. I had to use the A button, then press left on the D-pad to lift it behind me. I don't know why they couldn't have just have had it. I don't know why they couldn't let you just lift it automatically. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm getting tongue-tied. That's just fantastic. All right, we get a small key, and that is going to unlock a door we will encounter momentarily. For now, we're going to head back to the previous room. The room with that circle of pots and that staircase, because now is the time where we want to go down. So let's lift it up. And on second thought, we aren't going to go there, because I want to do a bit of backtracking to this portal. We're going to stand in the middle and warp ourselves back to the entrance, because now that we have the Power Bracelet, we can lift these pots and open the chest, which contains 50 rupees. Very nice indeed, and that's going to take our total up to 381. If I have to do any farming, I'll do it off screen so as to not waste time. So back to the mini boss room we go, and head right one screen yet again. And we're gonna ignore the keys for now because we want to head up these stairs. where we meet another 2D platforming segment with yet another Mario cameo, Piranha Plants. Thankfully, they're a lot easier to deal with this game than they were in Mushroom Kingdom. Because in this game, we don't have to risk jumping into their huge gaping mouths, because we can easily defeat them with a sword. And just like in Mario games, when you arrive close to a pipe, they won't pop out. You gotta love little touches like that. And I have to say, that is very clever. Jump, jump, and jump. And this is going to take us to that room. This is the room the owl statue was telling us about. So it said, first we have to defeat the imprisoned Pole's voice. That's the creature behind all of these rocks. So we're gonna move the rocks aside. Now, Pole's voices can't be destroyed by your sword. Instead, you have to pick up a pot and throw it at them. The owl statue also said to defeat the shrouded Stalfos last, so we need to deal with the Keese next, and finally, the Stalfos. I cannot tell you how long I was stuck on this very puzzle. It drove me insane. Now keep in mind, I was only 8 years old when this game first came out, or when the DX version came out, because that's the version I played. All right, we've got the Nightmare Key. So now we can fight the boss, and the boss is actually pretty close by, believe it or not. Checking the map, there's nothing here. Oh, I almost got hit by that Stalfos. Let's go ahead and get hit by a Keese first of all. And also, run into a pit for some reason. Why did I do that? I swear, that's probably going to become a running gag, and I really don't want it to be. Alright, let's just open the door, where we encounter some more Pole's voices. I believe if you aren't at max health, there's a chance that one of these jars could contain a fairy. And if you destroy the red souls with pots, they won't separate into smaller souls. And with all 3 enemies defeated, the path has been revealed. And before I head down, I just want to see if there are any hearts hiding among these pots. And so far, I am not having much luck. Ah, there we go. There's the fairy I was talking about. Well done. Once we head down the stairs, we have another puzzle. Now, this one also took me quite a while to figure out back in the day. First, we need to walk onto this platform. When Link walks on top, it lowers. Simple as that. You calling me fat, game? I don't know why I'm grabbing a pot to see if there are any hearts under there, because I'm already at full health. Now, this platform is a little different. Ooh, epic constipation face right there. We'll need a little more weight if we want to weigh it down. So what we want to do is grab a pot, and then it will lower. Now, I always thought this was kind of funny. Climbing up with the pot and not throwing it? Okay, you could do that in the classic game, but I don't think you can do it in this game. That's disappointing. Anywho, we are at long last at the boss door, so let's go ahead and fall down a pit. Let's just walk through the door. I don't want to dwell on it any further. Anywho, it's boss time. I'm your bad guy this time. What's a more appropriate boss in a bottle grotto than a genie? Alright, it's time to deal with the genie. He can be rather tricky if you're new to the game. Anywho, this battle comes in 2 phases. Ouch! He's going to throw fireballs at you, and when you dodge them, he'll retreat retreat into his bottle and hop after you. You can block it with the shield, but you'll need to hit him with your sword, like so.
Oh! I can't move! But I am still alright. Your little sword won't break this bottle. Even the walls here look tougher than that dinky thing.
Well, he spelled it out for us. The sword isn't strong enough, but using the Power Bracelet, you'll need to throw the bottle on the wall.
Yeah, you can't hurt me as long as I have my bottle.
Alright, so he's back to throwing fireballs. The easiest way to dodge them is to walk back and forth and keep a safe distance from him. Alright, so back in the bottle he goes. I hope you aren't offended that I am trying to shatter your bottle. I'm sure it's an important heirloom to you. I mean, I know you're an evil apparition who's trying to barbecue me, but I still want to be polite and going about it. These fireballs cannot be blocked by your shield, so I should mention it. Okay, there we go. So now let's throw it one more time and the bottle shatters.
Whoa! You broke my bottle! Why, you make me hopping mad!
Alright, now begins the second phase. He's going to vanish, and then when he reappears, he's going to throw a massive fireball that comes in on you, but it won't burn out. Once he starts trying to punch you, you can slash at him. And, well, just rinse him with heat. That's all there is to it. It should be worth noting that his attacks do deal quite a bit of damage. Careful. That is it for Genie. Quite possibly one of the derpiest looking bosses in Zelda's history. But with the Genie vanquished, let's grab the heart container. That brings our total from 5 to 6. But more importantly, there lies the second instrument of the sirens. You got the conch horn!
Prairie, prairie, the prairie is waiting.
All right, we have the second instrument of the sirens, and I think we're going to end the video right here and now. So next time on Let's Play and Dub The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, we are going to see if we can find this prairie that Mysterious Voice told us about. See you guys next time.